All righty, Dr. Letitia Wright. We are live like Memorex. Let me go on here and make sure I have my settings done right so I can share with all of my friends. And let's see here, because I don't have it right. So let's go here. Right here, change my privacy so that we all can share. Public. There we go. We are live on Facebook. We are recording for the replay and we are cooking with gas.
All
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, if you do not know, you're going to know tonight, right? I have none other than the one and only, and my media coach, FYI. I thought I'd throw that plug in there. Dr. Letitia Wright, Right Place TV, like right, get it right TV, all the way from California, like where the sun is, and we're over here on the East Coast. It's a little dreary and all that good stuff. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, and welcome to the replay viewers. Thank you guys for checking us out, and thank you for everybody's live. I appreciate the opportunity to hang with you. We always have fun together, so thank you.
Exactly. And for you guys that are tuning in that don't know what's going on, this is the 30 Women, 30 Days in the Life and Times of a Female Entrepreneur, where we are interviewing 30 dynamic female entrepreneurs, in 30 days. So it's like, I don't know where you've been, but tonight I'm glad you're here. So, Dr. Wright, I'm going to jump right in it because this platform, because a lot of times we get on platforms, we talk about our business and how great we are and what we have to offer and how can we solve problems and all that good stuff. So one, I want you to tell everybody what you do and how you do it and how, cool it is. And then I just want to know, has it always been that cool?
And no, of course not. Anybody that tells you that their ride was smooth is lying. It was not always this cool. I am Dr. Letitia Wright. I'm the host and the producer of the Right Place television show. I've been on broadcast television, meaning TV, regular TV, for the last 17 years with my show. It's a half-hour business show that features entrepreneurs, and my goal was to really educate and share. I've been on the air longer than Shark Tank, longer than a whole lot of other shows that are out there. And I was talking about business a long time ago before it became popular. Now it's kind of cool. You want to be an entrepreneur, it's a cool thing. But, a decade, 15 years ago, people would look at entrepreneur as a person that, you just can't get a job. You just can't keep a job. So now you're on your own doing your rock star thing. Okay, whatever. That's how people would treat you.
Yeah.
And so, but right now it's very, very glamorous to be an entrepreneur. And while it's not made for everybody, it is for a lot more people than people give themselves credit for. So Right Place TV was really made as a study and a training ground, not only for myself, but for those that watch. And I had fun. I have great sponsors. Gwynnie B. You always see me talking about Gwynnie B. Yeah. Click over there if you're a size 10 to 22. You can get some great clothes. This is a Gwynnie B dress. I have Archon is a great sponsor. We have some other sponsors on the show. And it's been a great ride. It's been 17 years and it's been fantastic. We've been nationally syndicated. Right now, we're on Southern California cable television, and I do invite guests to our summer taping shows. And so if you guys want to hear about that, you can, ping me and I'll see the note and we can talk about that. I have this other side of me that is about money and about crowdfunding. So I am America's crowdfunding strategist. I'm in the top 100 crowdfunding experts in the United States. And so I go around the country speaking and teaching about crowdfunding, how you raise money, even how you can use Facebook to raise money. I know a lot of people know about that donation button, but there's an art and a craft and a science to it. And so I help people get fully funded in 90 days or less. So those are just my two loves, and I actually have married them together. So I'm doing consulting with clients who want to raise their profile using media, using different things. And if you have your brand, now you have to be a person who has your brand together.
Yes.
So if you're watching this and your brand is not together, you got to work with Lyrics so she can work that out for you. But if you have a brand, you know where you're going, you know who your audience is, then there are a lot of people they work with me one-on-one in a consulting. We meet once a week, or we have what I call Sky Day. Sky Day is my VIP day, which is on a private jet. You come to California, I take you to Northern California. We have private jet. Yeah, no TSA, no nothing. You walk on there, you get your champagne, you sit down, you have a nice plane ride, not a cattle call. We go to a beautiful Lafayette hotel. You spend the night, you relax, we work on your plan, and you get to stay the whole day and come home. We work on it the next day and come home. And so I teach you all of the things, the 12 areas that you need to become an expert or well-known in your niche. They're the things that I did to become in the top 100 in my niche. I wasn't always into crowdfunding. I got into it very early, but I had to come from nothing. And so to come from nothing and spend about 18 months to be at the top of the list of people, you know, there's a certain plan. And so I outline that. And so those are the three things that I love. I love television production, I love crowdfunding, and I love what I call my media icon program. And so we have a great time. It changes everything. I'm gonna tell you, when clients come back from Sky Day, changes everything. Everybody looks at you different. They treat you different.
Yes.
And the deals that come on your table change. And that's what's really magnificent. No more this little pity-patty stuff. People are like, oh, wait, she's serious. He's serious. We're about to switch this whole thing up. So that's what I do. And no, it wasn't always so fabulous. I started the TV show. Whoops, I'm sorry, Siri's talking to us. I thought I turned him off. Siri's like, I'm sorry, Dr. Wright, I didn't understand what you said because I'm not talking to you. Okay, so I started the show because as a physician, I am a physician, I'm not a PhD. It's not an honorary. I worked my off.
You're a real doctor.
I'm a real doctor. So, but when it comes to the business side of it, you know, they teach you in school how to be a great doctor, but not the business side of it. And so that was really, really tough for me. So I was running my practice by myself, no help, no mentor, which is a big fat no. Do not go into business without a mentor, series of several mentors. Wow. You got mentors for different sections of your business. You know, I have some people that mentor me in this, some people that mentor me in this. So, you know, you put it together. But at that time, I had no one to really show me how do you run a practice? How do you get all these clients? How do you run everything? I just didn't know. And so it was really, really tough. So I started the show really as a way to get experts out to help educate me.
Wow. See, I'm learning something new about you tonight. One, I didn't know about the Clearport. I didn't know that, you know, we had this little private jet thing going on.
Okay.
I don't remember that option on the list. Invite only. And then I knew you were a real doctor. So that I did know, and you don't just play one on TV.
Right.
But I did not know that you ran a practice, which is major, because it's not easy to open up a medical practice.
It is not.
It's already hard to get the credentials. And then you open up shop.
It's a whole different ball game. And it was very, very tough. So overlapping that, I was on someone's television show, someone's local community show, and I had such a good time. And I don't know what was going on, but you know, like my hair was done. I had this little peach suit on. My makeup was done. He was asking me questions. I was like, boom, boom, boom. It was just like really, really well done. You know, I just came out really well done. I showed it to patients. They were like, wow, they were really impressed. So I went back to the studio a week later and said, how did this guy get a show? Can I get a show? And so this was, back when cable had to give community shows. And so they told me about the classes, and that's where I learned television production. And so I spent a long time learning. I didn't go in there and go, here's my show and I want to sit down. I don't know what the heck. So I know how to direct. I know how to light. I know how to set up a set. I know how to run camera. I know everything that happens 360 degrees in a studio. So when I'm sitting in my chair and we're waiting for things to happen, I'm not sitting there going, hurry up, what are we doing? Here we go. I know what they're doing. I've seen people do that, like yelling at staff, and I'm like, really? Wow, don't be a jerk about it. But when you don't understand why it takes so long for them to do whatever they're doing because you've never done it, then yeah, you're going to sit there and scream and yell like you're some sort of diva. So studio crews, they always love me. I always bring food, and I understand what's happening. Yeah, that's how you get them to work. I bring food and Twizzlers. That's the secret. So I've been doing my show, for a long time. It's an interview show. I can do, 5-6 shows a day if I have that many. And, we go hot through it. We broadcast it. It's a great opportunity for other entrepreneurs to, again, open up who they're exposed to. Get other show invitations. People are not scared to book you when they see you in a real show. And when you're in your living room and you got the green blanket up behind you and you're trying to pretend like you got an interview going on, that's not going to work. Because producers know what they're looking at. But when you've been on a show that really has been on television, really is going to be broadcast, it really does help you in terms of booking other shows. You can show them what you did, and you can go from there. I have a client that got into Black Enterprise. It was his dream. He is a small businessman, but it was his dream to get into Black Enterprise. It's Business in a Bucket. You guys can find him. He's still in business now. Business in a Bucket. And he and his wife were just really great media training students and went through the whole thing. And I'm not a dream killer, so I'm not going to tell you what you cannot do. But I did explain gently. I was like, Black Enterprise is looking for businesses. You're a small business. But that was his dream. Yeah. And he kept going and he kept connecting, and he finally found a reporter, met with her, connected with her, showed him his segment on my show. And she wrote him up in Black Enterprise. I was like, dude, I haven't even been to Black Enterprise yet. But what it was is that when she saw, this isn't just some little dude out here. He's professional. Him and his wife, they did this great thing. And this was a real show. Right. Then she was like, okay, this guy is the real deal. And so that's how we roll. And that's what I'm about, raising your profile so that you can really, I say raise your profile so you can raise your prices, but raise your profile so that you can, get what you want out of the market. Now, no, it wasn't always like that. It sounds all gravy. It sounds all gravy. It's all gravy now. But I booked the show, and it was so embarrassing because it was triple embarrassed because my parents, they were alive then, and they came to watch me do my thing. My parents are so supportive, right? Okay. Girl, do you know 0 guests showed up? Like 0.
This was your first show?
It wasn't the first show. The first show went great. I was rolling. I'm rolling. I'm fine. So this is like, way into the first year of the shows. And we're sitting around and literally nobody showed up. So I finally had to and I was so embarrassed. I was just like on the verge of tears. And so my parents said, well, come on, we're going to take you to, late lunch, and they take me to lunch, and, they're trying to cheer me up, but I'm just, beside myself almost. my dad's so funny. My dad was like, hey, your tire looks low. Want me to buy you some tires?
Anything to make you feel better, right?
He was just reaching for something, but I just thought that was so funny. I was like, no, Dad, I don't want you to buy me some tires. So no, I mean, every business has its ups and downs. And my theory is this: you got to be in business, doing your business about 3 years. After about 3 years, you've seen every problem you can possibly see. The next time you see the problem, it will be on a bigger scale. So the next time I see this, nobody shows up, it'll be no guests show up and no crew shows up. It'll be something like much, much bigger. And all you have to do is think back, reach back to when you dealt with this problem. It was very similar, it was just smaller, and know that you have the training to deal with it. And that's how you can calmly work through stuff, because stuff just doesn't work out fine. So,
right.
But I've been really blessed in that I got, some great famous people to be on the show. Stedman Graham's been on the show twice. T. Harv Ekker's been on the show.
Oh, wow.
Brian Tracy's been on the show. I've just had a lot of really, really big names, and that's been a blessing to me. And I have found the higher up the food chain, the nicer people are. Like, people that are just like local experts will talk to you like they bought you at the market on discount. And when you reach these people that are really at high levels, even when they're tired, even when they're so gracious.
Wow.
And I remember I was at an event that Gloria Vanderbilt was speaking at, and I didn't have my iPhone. I had another, she's, and so she, I had another phone. I didn't have my iPhone, and so I was kind of, some phones are slow, and I couldn't get the pictures like I wanted to. And she looks at me, she says, "Hurry up, my teeth are drying out."
Her teeth?
But she was nice, she had spoken, she had signed books. They sold at that event, I think they sold 400 books, and she sat there and signed all of them. And signed and took pictures, signed and took pictures, signed and took pictures. So by the time I'm at the end with the media, she's like, I knew she was exhausted, but she was still just, it wasn't a bite. It was just like, I'm really tired. Could you hurry up?
Yeah.
It wasn't nasty. It wasn't anything like that. So that's one thing I love about what you and I do as we meet people. And I think you found this too, is you meet people higher up the chain. Aren't they much nicer? Don't you find that?
I do. I really, really do. And the thing is, in this journey, because it is a journey, entrepreneurship, and it wasn't until I got around people that were doing better than me that I started saying, oh, it's a little too different over here. I can see a little clear, like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, and it's interesting because they have no interest in putting you down or trying to one up you, or there's just not where their mind is. They honestly ask you questions, and if you're open to feedback, they'll give it to you, and they can figure out if you're open to feedback or not.
Right.
And so I think it's a really great opportunity. I've been really blessed. I've traveled the world. I've met, multimillionaires and spent time with them. And so just the whole way they do business is just so incredibly different. And so that's one of the good things. But as you're coming up and you're having different experiences, it can be tough. The challenge is, will you take it personal and think that, wow, nobody showed up for this show, I'm a failure, I shouldn't even be doing this? Or,
right.
What I did is I just took it as a lesson. If my parents hadn't been there, believe me, my suffering would have been a lot less. But my parents were there, and I was trying to make this good impression, and this, was not what I was trying to do. So,
Dr. Wright, I didn't know you had interviewed Brian Tracy. Like, that's just kind of
I've not only interviewed Brian Tracy, but I'm the only person who's directed him as an actor in the movie. He's done all these movies where he just talks. I'm the only person that directed him as a character in the movie.
So you really had to be with him in his space.
In his space, and he's very interesting. Now, the cool thing is that he brings so much to the table. As a director, there's not a whole lot you have to do, but I still had to work with him as a talent. He has his parameters. And it was so funny because he came in, there was a script, and we had dinner the night before. And it was just a fun time. It was just the director, the executive director, me, I'm the director, executive director, Brian Tracy and his wife, and a couple crew people, and so we had dinner the night before. And I got to be up early because it's showtime. It's production.
Showtime, right.
And so we had this great dinner. We're laughing and talking, just having a really good time. Just in his personal space of just not being in business. He's a really fun person. You wouldn't think that, but he is really fun. And he walked, we drop him off at the hotel, and he turns to me. He says, "Here you go." And he hands me this much paper. This is the script he plans on using.
Oh.
So I drove home, which was like an hour away, drove home, and I had to reincorporate what he wrote into the movie script and what we were doing.
Oh, wow.
So I was up for a long time.
Right. The night before.
Right. And this is the night before we shoot. And we have a 1-day shoot. We only have him for 1 day. So it's not like I can shoot and make mistakes and he can come back. No, okay. He's not coming back. I got him for 1 day.
No room for error.
No room for error. So I did stay up. I did make the adjustments, and we got it done. We got it done, and it was a fantastic piece of work. I'm very proud of it. And but it was, that's the other thing, is that when you're working with people, you are working with people. And even though it's my show or my production, there are some things that you can't dictate.
Right. I got it.
It's got to be like this. You got to open it up for creativity, because what he wrote was far better than anything we could have come up with.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Because it was him and his stuff. And so it was amazing. I mean, we just let the camera roll and just let him do his thing. I mean, I knew where we were.
Yes.
And, in the thing, but in terms of once he got into position and direction and knew where he was looking, we just.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. So we got Brian Tracy, Stedman Graham. We get all these, now you're a rock star, the resume is like kicking ass, right? So when you show up, it's like, yes, I am Dr. Wright, a real doctor, a Right Place TV. I've been this, and this. Take me back to the day that you said, I think I want to be an entrepreneur.
Well, I don't know that I ever said I think I want to be an entrepreneur. I think I knew that I was always that. When I was a housewife with little kids, I had a candy truck route.
Candy truck?
Not candy truck, but candy machine. So I would load my minivan with candies, and I had machines all over the place, and I would load them and take the money and go buy. So I was always doing something that was entrepreneurial. So I don't think there was a day when I said, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. There was a time when I started doing TV, and the first time somebody gave me $1,000 for sponsorship, I said, oh, it's a business. It's a business. And then I was off to the races.
Oh my gosh. Who knew? So were there any trying times? Because I know you had to practice. You said that was kind of hard. And that was before you got into the TV, because then you got to kind of figure that out too. So
right. Well, for some reason, I went through about a year when I had trouble asking for money. So what I would do is I would talk to my other friends who had businesses and ask them to sponsor the show just to make it easier. Yeah. But once sponsorship and money started coming in, like I said, once that $1,000 check came in, I was like, all right, sponsorship is how I make money in TV. And so I went on. I was able to get a clothing sponsor. Winnie B sponsors all of the clothes for the show. And when I speak, I was able to get a shoe sponsor. Carlos Santana sponsors the shoes.
I like the shoes.
Yeah, they're great shoes. Steinmart was a clothing sponsor for a long time. So I was able to get sponsors once I understood what the revenue process was. Yeah. But, I went through a tough time. And, I was telling my dad, man, my stomach hurts when I have to ask for the money. And while my father is super duper supportive, trust me, I'm daddy's girl all the way, he looked at me and said, well, you better get over it. So So it was tough, but I think once you figure out what your revenue model is for your business that works and works for you, then you can go do it. I think a lot of people are having a hard time because they're using a revenue model that doesn't really fit them, how they work, and it doesn't fit their business.
Right. Was there a time where you ever said, I don't know if this is going to work? Or did you just know you had to tough it out? This is part of the game plan. Like I spoke today, like, look, it might get a little hot, but you can't leave. Like, this is just part of the game.
It is part of the game. I think with TV, because I got the show to go into the black, as a business, it went into the black like year 3. And it's been in the black ever since. And so I had accelerated because I had learned from the practice. The practice, I was like, yeah, I don't know. This is not going to work. What happened was that I was getting some clients, and that was great, but I wasn't really getting enough to make the practice work. The attorneys were eating me, picking my bones clean. And I applied to a practice management company because back then you couldn't find all these, there's coaches everywhere now. Well, that didn't exist. And so a practice management company is like a company of coaches that help you with your practice, medical practice. They help doctors.
Gotcha.
And so I put in an application, and about 2 weeks later, I got a call. I was so excited. I thought, oh, great. They're going to tell me when the person's going to come. We're going to get started. I'm going to solve this money problem. And the woman got on the phone and said, hey, we got your application. I said, great. And she said, Dr. Wright, you don't make enough money to be one of our clients.
Yes, I've heard that happen before to a girlfriend of mine. She thought she was kicking butt. And they said, you don't call us back because you don't make enough money for us to work with you. I thought that was odd. I was like, wow.
That was odd. And that was happening at the same time. People were handing me $500 checks, $1,000 checks for the TV show. And so I went to my family. And here's the thing. I've been telling people I wanted to be a doctor since I was 3 years old. I never said anything different. Oh, wow. I grew up to be exactly what I said I was going to be. So I went to my family and I said, look, the practice is really tough. I'm starting to hate what I loved because just the money problems and the pressure. But this TV is kind of going really good. I want to do this. Take some time off. I'm going to do the TV. It doesn't work out. I can always, get a job or go back into practice. And so my family, they're not dream killers either, but I'm sure they were thinking, and so, but nobody said anything. They're like, okay. And so I did that. And I started developing the show. I started developing the Mother's Day show. It was patterned after Oprah's Favorite Things. We did some great shows with that. It's a high tea where people came and had tea, and then we presented them with all these different gifts from all these different companies. It had a great reputation. It was freaking awesome. I remember one year my mother had so many bags. She was like, Oprah ain't got nothing on my daughter. I was like, oh my God, Mom, go home.
Yes, Mama.
So, it was just, it just really flourished and just worked really well for me. And so that gave me an opportunity to do movies. That's when I started doing. I did did 2 Power Mentorship movies, did the HLIC movie with Trevor and Shay. So it led me to do films. And it just was a really great opportunity. So I've never been, when it comes to Right Place TV, I've never been at that point where I don't know that that's going to work. I did take a whole lot of time off. In 2010, my father was, 2009, I'm sorry, my father was diagnosed with cancer. We knew that he was dying. And I was really grieving that and trying to spend time with him. And so I kind of let the business go. Luckily for me, I had such a good reputation. When I came back to it after he passed away, everything just lit back. And then I took a couple of years off after the HLIC movie because I was working on some other projects. And so now last year we started, getting back into it. We got picked up by Canada Media, a cable station out of Canada. And so, I'm looking forward to some really great things this year with Right Place TV. But with Right Place TV, not so much. Now, the practice, that was really tough. And I did make a decision to put it aside to pursue the TV dream and see what happens.
Oh, wow. Most people would have been like, you went to college, you got all these degrees, you had to do your residency, and you're going to be a rock star? Is that what you said you're going to do? Like,
That's what I said. That's what I said.
are you crazy? So you went through all the school and now you want to be a rock star. Like, how in the world? Did you get the side eye like, this girl done lost her damn mind?
You know, my family is, like I said, my family is very supportive. So they were probably thinking that in their head, but they didn't give me the side eye. But I'm sure they were like, she's having a mental breakdown. You know, I don't know what they were thinking, but and I'm sure other people think. But you know what? Years later, I am so happy. The experiences that I have with Right Place TV, I would have never had. I would have never been invited last year to President Obama's last Entrepreneur Summit in Stanford. I would have never been wound up in business school in Malaysia. I went to business school in Malaysia. I would have never wound up in Hong Kong. I would have never, you know what I'm saying? There's so many places and things in my life I would have never done. And so looking back, this is absolutely the path that I'm supposed to be on.
Who freaking knew? Malaysia? Really? Dr. Wright, I know you're a whole lot of things, but I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, real time, you think you know, but you don't know, okay? Because I thought I knew. I said, Right Place TV, honey, she can have you looking real good, da-da-da-da-da. But I knew your skill set was on 1,000. So I just knew that. So there's no need to ask any more questions because you're right here on 1,000. I remember when I first met you. And I remember I was doing red carpet interviews.
Yes.
And I was told to interview all the speakers and don't miss one. And I was like, all right, this is my first time doing red carpet, but I got enough sass and pizzazz. They think they got me. They're going to put me to the test. I'm going to show them. I'm going to be the best red carpet interviewer on the, they're going to be like, hire this girl, sign her up. So I'm interviewing the speakers and, you know, I wasn't able to hear them. So when they got to me, I said, give me 4 things that you talked about. Just bullet points. And I was on them. I was rocking the road. I was telling. So now they said, get Dr. Wright. I said, wait a minute, hold up. Wait. Right Place TV. Like, wait 1 minute. I wasn't ready for that one. This is my first day on the job now. You weren't supposed to give me no professional. You just supposed to give me the regular people. The speakers that don't know that I'm a rookie, just the regular people. They said, no, you got to get Dr. Wright. I said, now you're going to give me somebody that knows media, that knows interviewing, that knows speaker training and this, and I got to interview her. I said, well, what about somebody else? That includes Dr. Wright. So when you got up there, I said, well, here goes nothing. So, you know, I gave you my little spiel, I did my little interview, and I was like, it's just like, because when you come amongst a professional, as you are, and somebody that has so much knowledge, you kind of get a little shaky in the boots, like, you know, they just gave me the microphone, right? They ain't trained me on this.
Well, I didn't know that was your first time, and you did a great job. I mean, part of what you and I do is you do have to be a bit of a natural talent. And, you know, you got to be able to, like, cameras on, boom! You know, when I talk, I tell people, I've never met a camera I don't like. So, you know, you got to be that person. You know, I'm like, hey, if it's lightning outside, I'm going to run outside because I figured God's trying to take my picture. So, you know, you got to be that kind of person to do what you and I do.
I never heard
of that. Job. You know, you did a great job, and we were like we clicked instantly, and we just had a good time. And I knew you had been through the things I have been through too. You know, the interviews where you're talking to somebody and they give you a 1-word answer, and you just want to, you know, hit them in the head with the microphone. Like, so tell us about this. Yes, no, or worse. Ponder and think, and you're like, oh my God. One time I was doing a show and I had a couple like that, And I was tired. I had done 4 shows back to back. I was a little tired. And they were like, And I said, it's a talk show. You're going to have to talk.
You got to say a little something, something.
Yeah, you got to say something. And my crew was like, oh my God. That was
you just got to go there.
Yeah, that was not, I could have handled it better, but I was tired. It was show number 4. It was, it was like, these people are not talking. So, I knew you and I have been through a lot of similar things, and that's what happens on the road. And then you get the people who, one of the first judges that was on TV, she was very, very popular for a long time, and she came on the show, and she really wasn't a nice person. I'll put it that way. She wasn't really nice to my crew.
Dr. Wright. Say her name. Say her name.
And she got in the seat, and because she kept saying, I gotta go. I gotta be up early for my show in the morning. I gotta go. I gotta be up in the. So this is in the first couple of years of the show. So I'm thinking, she's gotta go. I better not try to do the whole show with her. I might as well do 15 minutes and then let her go, because she keeps saying she gotta go. I didn't understand that I gotta go doesn't mean anything. So for those of you watching, if you're ever on my show and you're ever in my studio and you're sitting there going, I gotta go, I'm not even hearing you, because I already know. So she kept saying, I gotta go. So I only interviewed her for 15 minutes. So I started off with a question, and she talked for 15 minutes straight. So I'm watching the time. I'm not watching the time. I can take the time off in my head. I can take off 30 seconds in my head.
Right.
And so I know, they give me the signal that we're going to break for a commercial. And I said, well, thank you for being here. We got to break for a commercial. Next step, you're going to hear so-and-so and so-and-so. So we broke for a commercial. She said, what? That's it? Oh, she was hotter than fish grease. And so, but I was confused, because I was like, well, you kept telling me you got to go. So I thought you had.
What do you want?
I didn't know that I got to go is nothing. I guess it's the person making themselves feel whatever. I don't know. So this is my thing. I tell people when they're in my studio and they're in for the show and they start going, I got to go. I go, well, then you need to go ahead and go. Well, can I do my show first? I said, no, you need to go.
Wow, you're able to pick and choose at a certain point, because I know that some people will come in and just kill the mood for everybody. Sometimes it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And you have to say, you know what, my bad, I'm sorry, but we're not going to do this today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Sorry to waste your time. Have a great one.
Sorry to waste your time. So it is highly, you do want a mood. You want your crew in a great mood so that you can get a great show.
Yes.
My show is a show in studio. I have camera people. I have directors. I have editors. I have sound people. And so you want the mood to be happy. I have a happy, I don't run a slave shop. I don't run a And so you have some guests that just come in and they're just like,
on a log.
And so it's an amazing journey. So no, it hasn't been all peaches and cream, but the cool thing is, like I said, whatever you are in your business, you've actually seen all the problems you're going to see in the first 3 years. There aren't anything new. They're just bigger.
Got you. Well, let me ask you this, because we have a lot of people watching. I know a lot of people in my audience have podcasts, radio shows. They want to get into television, doing some of the local cable networks and things of that nature. But there's a fee that they have to pay to operate these things. Mm-hmm. And those are some of the mediums where you need sponsorship. Like, I don't want to keep paying every month for my radio show. It may be $300, but I don't want to pay for it. And we look at sponsorship as being hard. Like, we got to kind of say, hey, you want to, sponsor my show? I got to ask you for some money. And, we are afraid to get it out our mouth. We don't have the package. Like, it's hard. But we need sponsorship to stay afloat in that particular industry. And
let me tell you, when I started off getting sponsors, like, I didn't even have a contract. I was like, I need $500 for sponsorship, and we'll talk about your products the brands on the show. And people are like, oh, okay, and handing me a check. So let me just say this. If you're about to ask me how to do this, this is how you do it. So number one, you need to go for sponsors that match your audience. In other words, if your audience likes Nikes, then you need to find Nike and Nike-like products as sponsors. Okay, my audience likes Buster Brown, and Buster Brown is Carlos Santana. So we went with Carlos Santana. Yeah, Buster Brown owns Carlos Santana. They license the name from him, and they make the shoes. So the other thing is that you got to go to the person who can make a decision. And so when I talk about the sponsorship, I'm on the phone with Buster Brown. I'm not on the phone with Carlos Santana companies.
So yeah,
but I still get Carlos Santana shoes. So you got to do your homework and match the sponsor. Go after the people that can actually make the decision, because you can spend all day talking to somebody who cannot say yes. And that whole thing, hi, are you the decision maker? Yes, I'm the decision maker. And it's like, oh my gosh. So,
so first you got to find out who makes the decision.
Right. So you got to do your homework. Number two, you have to know what you bring to the table. Now, a lot of people are going for sponsorship when they don't even have a sample of what the show is going to sound. And so right now, there's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of things that people can choose to sponsor. So you got to prove that you have something. A lot of people have very poor skills. They have a podcast because it doesn't cost nothing to have a podcast. It costs nothing to make a YouTube channel. It costs nothing. But here's the thing. Get your skills up there, because you're up against professionals.
Yes.
And they have very poor interview skills. And let me just say, for all of you people that are out here, here's the media training portion. Do not repeat what the person just said. That is not an interview. That is you being uncreative and not talking. For example, I'll show you the example. So I'm the interview person. Lyric, tell me about your vacation. How many islands did you go to, and which island did you stay on?
Well, actually, I only went to one island, and it was Aruba, and it was so nice.
So you went to Aruba, and it was really nice. That parent thing, that is the lowest level of interview you can have. So I would say, really, see, here's the thing. We want big money, but we don't want to put any effort into being extraordinary. Right. I'm very good at what I do. I don't know everything, but I am very good at a couple of things. I'm very good with media. I'm very good with crowdfunding. And so while I was very good at patient care, I just wasn't good at the business part. So here's the thing. You got to be a good interviewer. So do your homework, get some training so you can make it happen. A lot of people are doing all this content and they can't figure out why they're not making any money. And when you tell them, look, this you're not doing this well, you're not doing this right, you're not doing this good enough to get money, they get offended, like you told them their baby's ugly. But the point is that there does have to be a level of expertise there. So if you have a podcast, it's got to be an interesting podcast. You have to have pristine diction, and it has to be very clear. It's audio. Nobody's going to listen to a bunch of boom, 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 huffing and puffing. Nobody's going to listen to that.
Yep.
So if that's your thing, make it great. If you're going to do video, make it great.
Yeah.
Don't be dark. Don't be having, I interviewed one time someone, I guess her computer was in the bedroom, and the bed was behind her all messed up. The bedroom was dirty, basically. Interviewed somebody, they had the computer. Kitchen was dirty. Looked like she needed a Roach Motel around her neck. So, step it up, people. Step it up.
I got you. Let me ask you this. When it comes to the sponsorship, and I had this conversation today with a gentleman who has a radio show. So he goes to a studio and they stream it for him. His question at the time was because he does want to get sponsorship, and he knows that the sponsors sometimes look at your numbers, like how many people you have watching you. So he didn't know if he should just build his audience right there on the radio station platform, or now that we have social media, Should he be Facebook Live in it and interacting with the people there? Because then you're splitting your numbers. And so
here's the thing about numbers and sponsorship. There is a revenue plan for the numbers game. When you got 10 million people, you can get this. There's a different revenue plan when you're new and you're just starting out and you don't have the numbers. That's what people don't know and don't understand. And that's what I was able to do. That's why I was able to get sponsorship when my show was brand new and nobody even knew it was on the air. So the thing is that, again, using the wrong revenue plan for what your situation is. So if you're just starting, excuse me, you can't do the numbers revenue plan. You have to do a different revenue plan and a different plan. It's not so much contingent upon whether he gets on Facebook and splits the numbers or whatever he does, because I say go where your audience is. If your audience is on Facebook, get on Facebook. Yeah. Okay. And get on the areas that make you happy. I used to do Periscope hard and heavy. I don't do Periscope anymore. I'll be honest, I don't want to fight the trolls. I don't want to spend every minute poking and getting people off that are cussing and insulting me and all. I don't want to do that. Yeah. And guess what? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere, nowhere but Periscope is that situation happening. I just decided life's too short for me to be doing something I hate every day. So you got to know the revenue models, and the numbers game revenue model is not the only revenue model. So again, up your game, get some knowledge under your belt. You know, that's one of the things I work with my clients on. Let's figure out how to make your show make some money. Well, you're not in a position to say, at the point that I was on Dish and DirecTV, 65 million homes, it was very easy to get that big sponsorship because I was playing the numbers game right. Yeah. But when you're just getting started, that's not the game you play to get paid.
So go where it makes you happy. Build your numbers there. Because he's trying to play right here at the station numbers or my Facebook people, because I like to talk to people. And, that's a great place to interact with the Facebook Live platform and talk to your people. And that's where he's happy at. But he was like, God, the sponsors are looking at numbers where? At my home base or my people? Yeah,
he needs a different package. He needs a different package. He's playing the wrong package.
Dr. Wright, you're so smart.
Thank you.
I love it. That's why I keep smart people around me, because I was telling somebody earlier, it wasn't until I changed my little circle that I started elevating myself. And sometimes we get intimidated by those that know more than us. Ain't no need to do that. You got to jump in. And I tell people all the time, I got a sales coach. I got me a media coach. You got to make sure you are armed. And make sure you got some good ones too now. You don't want somebody that says they know media and they don't know media.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I find. Because right now there's a plethora of coaches. And here's the thing. You want a coach who's done what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Okay. So when you're like, oh, this is my coach. And people used to do that to me. I can help you take your show to the next level. And I'd be like, but you haven't done a TV show like at all. You haven't even done a cable TV show. How can you don't even know where the next level is. So, you got to be careful about who you're getting training from.
Yes.
And, there's little clues. There's little clues to things like, some people say, oh, you got to pick something. And yes, if you have one thing, it's much easier to excel. It takes me longer to build because I'm doing crowdfunding and I'm doing media. So yes, it takes me longer to build because I have split my things, but it's not unheard of. But when you've got a business card that's got 13 different things on it, here's my business card, and here's all the stuff I do, and there's 13 things on there, I know that person's not making money at any of those.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we got to have 7 streams of income. No, you've got to have 7 working streams of income. You don't start another stream of income until the first one you have is running and making you money. And so, there's little telltale things of, we can be anything we want on the internet. Okay. And I understand fake it till you make it. I understand getting to your goals. But at the same time, when it comes to a coach, just make sure that person has actually done what you're trying to do. because there's things you can't teach from a book. You can learn book knowledge,
Yeah.
but the experience of doing something is completely different. You know how people say, I've studied all these crowdfunding things and I know how. No, you don't, because if you've never actually raised any money, you don't know what really happens.
Wow. I tell you, Dr. Wright, I'm glad you my girl. Y'all can call it selfish. You can call it what you want. I'm glad I'm on the right team here because, I like Carlos Santana. I didn't know that was Buster Brown. That's why you got to keep people around you smarter than you. I like that. I would have never known. So I wouldn't have known where to go to for the decision maker.
See, a lot of people will go, because I shop at Macy's a lot. A lot of people go to Macy's and be like, hey, can you sponsor me? Guess what? Macy's has no shoes. Macy's gets their shoes from Jessica, Carlos, Nine West, Michka Bockley, whatever his name is. So I can't go to Macy's and ask for a shoe sponsor. I got to go to the companies. So you got to do a little bit of homework, and you got to know what you bring to the table. Bring them something to the table. It just amazes me how many entrepreneurs want something and they have nothing in exchange. They'll say, on the crowdfunding side, they'll say, I'm looking for an angel investor. And I say, great. What were your numbers for last month? How much money did you make? And they can't tell you.
Wow.
And I've had several millionaires tell me, if you can't even tell me your numbers from last month, you're not ready for an investment. See, because it doesn't take a superstar to lose $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month. It takes a superstar to take some money that's invested in your business and actually turn it into something. So when you come from bootstraps, and you don't have to have an investment to get started. When you come from bootstraps, in other words, sell 3 of whatever it is you want to sell. Okay, I've sold 3 Sky Days, so I know Sky Day is a good deal. When you come up with something new, sell 3. If you can sell 3, then you can probably sell enough to make the business go. But if you can't sell 3 in 90 days, leave it alone, because whatever that idea is, you're not doing enough with it, or you don't know how to sell it, or you're not reaching the right audience, or something is not clicking for you. And so you can very quickly test different things. I'm all about testing stuff. But when it's not working, boom, 90 days and you're out. So, we spend a lot of time as entrepreneurs not really doing what we're supposed to do in terms of looking at the business, guiding it, making sure that you are going in the direction that you want to go, and making associations with people that can help bring you up. Now, it's not that we use people and just hang around people so they can give you this or give you that, but you got to bring something to the table. You got
to have some skin in the game.
Yeah. And I share freely. With my mentor, I have a mentor in San Diego. If she calls me and says, so-and-so wants to talk to you about crowdfunding, I'm not going to go, hey, it costs you this much to talk to me. I give them all the information they need.
Wow.
Because that's an association with my mentor, and that's going to come back in my favor. So you got to know the difference between really building relationships, and just making sales. And it's not always just about making the sale.
Exactly. Well, we're coming up on our hour. We have 7 minutes left, and Dr. Wright, I always ask everybody this one question. If you were not doing crowdfunding, you were not doing Right Place TV, there were no boundaries, there were no financial guidelines, and you could just do and be anything, what would that be if you weren't doing what you're doing today?
It's a toss-up. I probably would be doing travel blogging. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. That's like that would have been the easiest show ever because I have always traveled. I got my passport when I was 16. I was an exchange student in Denmark when I was 16. So I've had a passport my whole freaking life. And who knew back then that hey, you can make money talking about travel?
Yes.
So I think I probably would have been, and I still travel a lot. And so I think I probably would have been a travel blogger because I always see travel bloggers. I go, shoot, I could have been making money like that.
Yeah, and have fun, right? Have fun at the same time. That's so interesting. I love asking that question because you never know what somebody is going to say. So it's always interesting to see what would they do if this wasn't what they were doing. And I think a travel blogger, that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, it sounds totally fun. I mean, we you and I could do travel blogging. We'll have to do that as our little side hustle. But now I feel like I know how to make money in it. I know how it would go. And I was like, wow, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Well, it wasn't a thing. 17 years ago, travel blogger was not a thing. But now you can there's so many things that you can do as long as you're looking to the future and you're remembering that what is changing is the middleman is disappearing. So just as long as your job is not a middleman job, you will be okay. Because between technology and just how things are going, that's why there are no travel agents anymore. There are no travel agents. I can go straight to the hotel and book.
Yeah. Exactly. Or you can, these other online portals, Expedia or something of that nature.
Well, they're the middleman, but all the hotels, you can go straight to the hotel and book. You can go straight to the airline and book. And what's happening is that you can get better deals, you can get better things when you go straight to there and you don't use them. So the middleman situation is disappearing. Uber's trying to get driverless cars and trucks. So what's going to happen to the driver?
Yeah, pretty much. You're absolutely right. So
BMW in San Francisco has, you can rent their car and leave it wherever you want to leave it, and the next person comes and picks it up. What's going to happen to Hertz when everybody does that?
Sounds like Blockbuster and Netflix.
Well, see, Blockbuster was not smart, but Netflix was. Netflix decided we're in the movie making business. We ain't in the DVD business.
Yeah.
And now we have all these great shows.
Yeah.
House of Cards just started today. I gotta watch that later.
Somebody else was talking about that earlier, and I'd never seen it. So
it is exquisite. You got to start from the first season. It's exquisite. In the atmosphere, in the political atmosphere that we're in right now, you're like,
now I see. Okay. Well, right. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that are watching, Dr. Wright has graced us with an opportunity to connect with her. So if you are interested, and you should be if you know what I know, because I already know. I already have like the speed dial thing going on with Dr. Wright. So you need to get the speed dial thing going on with Dr. Wright. So going over to Life and Times with an S 360.com. That's www.lifeandtimes360.com. Go on over there, hit the little button that says Dr. Letitia Wright. And when you click that, you'll be able to go right to her page, connect with her, see all the good stuff she got, all the trainings, all the programs, everything about crowdfunding, everything about how to look good in front of the TV. And even if you want to get on that private jet, that's on it. Okay?
All right.
I didn't know about that. So
okay, well, we'll talk later because you're welcome to come out. I know that you will enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
And it's really made to expand your brain. So we got to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll carry the bags. I'll do what I got to do. Serve the coffee on the plane. I'm cool with it because I understand the magnitude of serving. And then I'll be over there taking selfies all on the plane. They be like, she on a private jet? Me and Dr. Wright. I know how to maximize the moment, honey. If I don't know how to
That's
do
right.
anything else.
That's exactly what you do. That's
Maximize the
exactly.
moment. And I was over there getting a coffee. But nobody else knew. So that would be me. That would be it. So I truly, truly appreciate you, Dr. Wright, for allowing us to have you on our platform. If you could real quickly tell everybody how to get in contact with you, all your social media handles, because you're everywhere, but I just want to make sure that they know it.
Great. So I'm Dr. Wright and the number 1, DrWright1 on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram.
Oh,
so I'm Dr. Letitia Wright on Facebook, and you can see Wright Plays TV has a page also. Wright Plays, like my name, WRIGHT. WrightPlaceTV.com is my website. You can contact me there. My phone number's there. You know, everything's right there. If you're interested in the media things, the media icon program, we can talk about that. If you're interested in crowdfunding because you need money for a particular project and you want to get funded in 90 days or less, you can go to getcrowdfundednow.com. I have a free download for you to get started. You figure some things out, and we can definitely talk. All of my contact information is in my downloads, and I'm here to serve. So I cannot wait to see you. And remember, ignoring one's conscience is neither safe nor right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here, right here on 30 Women, 30 Days. In the life and times of a female entrepreneur. It's not always gravy, but it gets there. You just have to have the patience. You just have to fight through the heat, like I spoke about earlier, because this game is very rewarding, but it takes work. And so we want to show you that, hey, sometimes it's a little wonky for us too, but we keep pushing. And that's what you need to do. Especially those that has to balance family and children and all those great things, okay? So make sure you tune in every Monday and Wednesday right here on Facebook Live. And we'll be back next week with another dynamic female entrepreneur. And tonight, you got the best of the best when it comes to the media, baby. Dr. Letitia Wright. We'll see you guys next week.